مرحبا يا حلوين، كيفكن؟ كيف الصحة؟ كيف الشغل؟ كيف العائلة؟ إن شاء الله كل شي تمام. أنا منيحة الحمد لله. و I am especially good لأنه اليوم نحن بدنا نتعلم الحركات بالعربي. الحركات or specifically we will be learning in this video the short vowels. يلا. فمثل ما شفنا نحنا in previous videos نحنا شفنا إنه في شي بالعربي اسمه long vowels that are considered long vowels because they produce a prolonged sound, right? We had the alif that could be pronounced as an a or e depending on the region and the speaker. The ya that could be pronounced as an e or e كمان depending on the speaker and the region, and the wow that could be pronounced as an u or as an o, again depending on the speaker and the region. طيب. These long vowels, they have an equivalent short vowel. This is a vowel that replicates the same sound as the long vowel, but it sounds a bit shorter. So the alif, a, e has the equivalent fatha that can be pronounced as well as an a or as an e, depending on the context, depending on the background of the speaker, and depending as well of the surrounding consonants in the word. So the alif can be an a or e, and the fatha can be an a or e. The ya could be an e or e, and the kasra can be an e or e as well. And the wow could be an o or u, and the dhamma can be pronounced as an u or o. So we have the alif and the short vowel equivalent, the fatha, the ya, the short vowel equivalent, the kasra, and the wow and its short vowel equivalent, dhamma. As you may see, they don't look quite similar. Why? Because the fatha, the kasra, and the dhamma are actually sort of symbols. They're not written as full letters, they're actually written as symbols on top of other letters. And their sound comes after the letter that is holding them. So if we put a B beneath or on top these symbols, then we would have the ba, bi, bu, which may also be pronounced depending on the surrounding letters and the accent as a B, B, bo. طيب تمام. Let's practice it a little bit. Fa. As we have seen, then the alif, a or e, its equivalent short version would just be a stripe on top, and it will create an a or e sound. The e or e short version of a vowel would be a stripe beneath the letter, just as the two dots beneath the ya, and it would have a short e or e sound. And the u or o, its equivalent in short vowel, would be just a tiny u on top of the letter, and it would have an u or o sound, depending again on the context, depending on the speaker, and depending on the surrounding letters of the word. Let's see it together with this sentence. Can you try to read it? You can stop the video, read it shoi shoi, and then we will see it together. طيب. Fa. We start here. We have the first letter is an a or an e. In this case, it's going to be pronounced as an e. Then we have the letter n, n, the letter t, topped with a fatha with an a short vowel. Enta, enta. Then we have the letter b with a stripe beneath. That's the letter e. Enta, b. And finally, we have the letter b stopped by a fatha that could be pronounced as an A or as an E. In this case, I'm going to write it as an E. It is followed by a long vowel E that we may write either like this, or you could also write it as a single E so that there are not too many vowels together, followed by the consonant T. Bait. The consonant T has on top the short vowel O, that could also have been an O, pronounced as an O. Beito. And finally, we have the letter N. Beiton. Enta ببيت. أنت ببيت. طيب تمام مشي منيح طيب ف now the last thing that we need to see is one tiny bit of a problem that we have. Short vowels are written on top of letters, right? So as for example, let's see the sentence that we read together now. أنت ببيت. So you may see it like this. But there's a tiny bit of a difficulty بالعربي. Short vowels are actually not written بالعربي. So instead, you're not going to be reading this in a book. You would actually be reading this. Short vowels in Arabic are only used in artistic writing, in the Qur'an, or in children's books. The rest of us, we need to try to read without vowels. Now, most of the times at the beginning when you're learning how to read and write, you will find yourself just putting a fatha over every single letter. But I swear to God, with time, you will learn how to read properly without guidance of these short vowels. Arabs either identify the word that they are reading or they identify the pattern that it follows. We will see this little by little. طيب شوي شوي. So don't worry too much about it. هلا. هلا. We do have to worry about one tiny bit of a thing. We said that the short vowels are written above letters. This includes also vowels. We could have, for example, wa. We could have, for example, you. بس. What happens when I want to start a word with a short vowel? Imagine, for instance, the word أنا. I don't say أنا or أنت. I don't say أنت. أو مثلا the word أستاذ. I don't say أستاذ. صح? I want to start these words with a short vowel. Now, because short vowels are written on top of letters, I cannot just write Anna, for instance, like this, with the short vowel floating there with no letter holding it, especially because I don't write short vowels, right? So if we don't write them, then we would be seeing this. And obviously, what we would read would be na, or with enta, we would write this, but eventually we would remove the short vowel because it's not written, and we would then just read nta. صح? So we do need something to hold these vowels. We need what we call a placeholder. The letter that is going to act as a placeholder for these letters is the letter alif. So I have the word ana that starts with a short vowel. I'm going to write the alif holding that short vowel, and because it's holding the vowel, it's not going to have a sound. So I write it like this. Now, in the case of enta, I would write it in the same way, the alif holding the kasra, enta. Bas. If I leave it like this, eventually when I'm writing in informal writing, I would not be writing these short vowels, right? We would remove them and we would eventually be seeing this. It would also be complicated for readers to realize that this is actually a short vowel. I may still read it as a long vowel here, ana, and here instead of reading enta, I would read anta. صح? So we need to place something in the alif to make readers know that the alif is not along a or along e in this case, that it's just there because it's holding a short vowel. When the alif is acting as a placeholder and it's just holding a vowel, it has no sound, we're going to place above or beneath it a letter that is called the hamza. The hamza looks like a 2 inverted, and it's going to be placed above the alif when it's holding the a, the fatha, or when it's holding the damma, the u or the o. Bas, if it's holding the kasra, the e or e, is going to be placed beneath, just as the e or e that is always written beneath the letter. So if we see an alif holding a vowel, we will see it like this. An, enta, ustaz. طيب? What this hamza is telling me is that it's holding a short vowel. Now, eventually, this is what I see now because I'm a student, but at the end of the day, what we will find in normal writing is just the alif standing with the hamza. If we see an alif with a hamza on top, that will indicate to us that that alif is holding either a fatha, an a or e, or a damma, an u or o. Thus, if I see the hamza beneath, I know for certain it is holding a kasra. So an I or E. يلا تفضلوا. Let's try to read the sentence together. Stop the video, try it yourself, and then we see it سوا. خلاص؟ ف. We have here our first vowel. Remember, we're not going to read the alif. We just pronounce the short vowel. In this case, it could be an E, but it's going to be pronounced as an E. E. Then we have the N, N, T, O. Ento, U. We're going to transcribe it as a W because it's at the beginning of the word and it would look weird if not. U or O, U, B, holding a short vowel. A, Uba, I. Ento, U, Ubay, B, with a short vowel. I, B, B, with a short vowel. A or E, B, N, I, N. Ento, U, Ubay, B, Benin. Benin بلد بإفريقيا. It's an African country. Ento, you, U, and Ubay is a name. Be in Benin. طيب? But remember that actually in Arabic writing, we would simply see this. No vowels whatsoever. But thanks to the Hamza, this will indicate to us that it's holding a kasera, an I or E. And this will indicate to us the possibility of holding an U or O or an A or E. طيب؟ تمام؟ ماشي؟ Remember that if you need to practice this more, you can access our self-guided kitab, in which it includes a lot of exercises, a lot of very nice explanations because I know these can be a little bit complicated to grasp at the beginning. Anyhow, I hope you got it. I hope it's not been a difficult journey for you guys trying to learn الحروف العربية. وإن شاء الله راح أشوفكم in the next video. شكرا كتير ومع السلامة.